the hottest team in the NBA is your New York Knicks. We head to Boston tonight. I'm not saying we're going to win the game tonight. We're 5.5-point underdogs. And it feels like a really good time to get that loss out right before a home game against the Hornets, then a long West Coast road trip. But Julius Randle, game winner in Miami. We've blown so many leads this season. We could have 45 wins. We've blown so many insane leads. It's nuts. But this New York Knicks team, I don't like it. I do not like it. The national media is in on us. I don't want it. I don't want Bill
Everyone's
Simmons
fallen in love.
I don't want
Everyone's fallen
in
love with those. There you go. Everyone's fallen in love with those New York Knickerbockers, baby. You've got Kendrick Perkins.
Oh my God!
Perk wants to go to the Garden. Zach Lowe thinks you're a dark horse. Bill Simmons is talking about you in a positive light. The New York Knicks are America's sexiest team right now, and it couldn't be more perfect. Check. Where are the expectations for this season to be a success at this point?
Well, we're clearly a contender. I mean, we can beat anyone in the NBA, but
in a 7-game series.
In a 7-game series, yes. I will say it's very similar vibes to the 2020 season where it was like they're so hot, playing hard, all this stuff. And then you got to the playoffs and you just got stone cold stunned because Randall just disappeared and teams started playing defense and things came out of its shell. But it's a different team. It's a much better team. It's a much more balanced team. It's a better team. Brunson is good. Like, we're starting Elfrid Payton. Quick is going to win Sixth Man of the Year. Today might actually swing the odds in his favor. If you like Knicks money line tonight, you just take Emmanuel Quickly Sixth Man of the Year. It's very similar odds. So I like there's just more opportunity there. But I like this team better. I do think Cleveland could cause issues for us because I think they'll be a somewhat elite defensive team in the playoffs. But the Knicks need to if they get through the first round, you talk about it being, I mean, people are saying this is their favorite and best Knicks team, even before Carmelo's teams. Like that, we're talking 20, 30 years now. So it's been a great run. The 8-game win streak is amazing. If they win in Boston tonight, though, then there actually could be a conversation about, like, okay, it's not the LOL Knicks. Like, maybe the Knicks are for real because over the last 42 games, we have the third most wins in the entire NBA. That's half a season sample size. This isn't like a hot streak. This is like a sustained amount of games after a cold start, similar to Philly. We're both tied at like 29 or 30 wins over our last 42. So if they lose tonight by 8, and it's just like a normal, okay, Boston's the best team in the East and the Knicks are the mid, then that I'm fine with that because then it resets expectations. I'm nervous if we win tonight because then you play Charlotte at home, you're 10 in a row, and then you go on a 4-game West Coast road trip against some good teams, and it's like you start winning those, it's like, holy shit, like the Knicks are going to be like favorites as the 5 seed over Cleveland. Tough win last night for Philly. I mean, we're knocking on Cleveland's door, but we're like, we're in the rear view for Philly too. But I think we'll land on the 5, which is what, if you guys had lost last night, we're 3 back. You got a little distance. Okay. But yeah, the Knicks are fun right now, which is great. That's what I needed.
At this point, listen, a few years ago when you lost to Trae Young in the first round, that was more so of a happy to be here type playoff run. Like nobody expected you guys to be there now. Then you go out. You draft or you have RJ, Julius, you give Brunson the contract. And now, Jack, I'm sorry to say, but there's expectations. Like from an outsider's perspective, if you lose in the first round, it's a failure of a season at this point. You have to go to at least the second round and maybe even win a game or two there. That's the type of expectations that are on the Knicks. People that are saying they're a contender, like Jack, okay, you can do it. You can till the chickens come home, announce it, but like let's stop. All right.
Okay. All right.
This team reminds me of the 2018, I want to say 17 Sixers, where we won 19 in a row to end the year. We played Miami in the first round, won. We were just having.
We're beating real teams. We're beating that season was fraudulent. No, you know that you guys didn't beat anyone that 19. I even remember that you played like the Hornets 14 straight games and won. We're beating real,
and we won a first round, and we won a first round playoff round. So that's at this point what you have to do.
Instead of contenders, fact or cap? You don't want to see the Knicks in the playoffs. That's a fair saying. Fact or cap?
As a Sixer fan?
No. In general, if you're Boston, Milwaukee, Philly, or Cleveland.
If you're Boston, Milwaukee, or Philadelphia, I don't think there's such thing as you don't want to see somebody outside of those three respected teams, because at the end of the day, all three of those teams are going for a championship, and at that point, it doesn't matter who you put in front. Like, you have to get to the conference finals, and that's that. Like, that's why I feel as if you're Boston, Philly, or Milwaukee, it doesn't matter if, like, the Knicks will play you hard, the Knicks will take you 6, the Knicks might take you 7. Who cares? You think that you can go win a championship, it doesn't matter who's on the other side of the court at that point. That type of shit
if
does
you're
not
the one
matter to
seed,
me.
let's say
if you're
Boston
Cleveland,
or
if you're Cleveland, you want to do everything you can to get to that 3 position so you don't play the Knicks. That is what I'll say. The Knicks should not scare a Philly, Milwaukee, or Boston. The Knicks should scare everybody else.
Okay, but let's say you're Milwaukee or Boston. I don't think you guys will get to the 1, but we'll throw you in for this conversation. You're at the 1 spot and you're watching the standings, and then it locks in Cavs versus Knicks 4-5. You're going to take.
I'd
care
rather
of the
play
8
the
seed.
Knicks. I'd rather play the Knicks. I'm sorry. Listen, it's been a great. I'm being honest, right? It's been an awesome story this year. Charles Barkley saying it's the best free agent signing of all time. At the end of the day, you don't have a guy that in the last 5 minutes of the game scares me every possession down the floor.
Oh, you're dumb and stupid. What?
I'm sorry. Like, they have Donovan Mitchell, and that's it. Like, you guys are probably a better team top to bottom, but at the end of the day, I'm taking the star power in the playoffs.
This is one of those situations where, unless you're calling cap on Julius and Brunson, which you could probably call it on Julius,
being superstars, yes.
But what is said their play doesn't make them superstars this season. I know historically no, but what is said that this year makes those two guys? Jalen Brunson averaged 34 for a month, and Damian Lillard gawk 3,000, run from the grind. Damian Lillard and Julius Randle's averaging 32 a night over his last 20 games.
So Jack, that's like saying to me, like, this season, why can't you believe in James Harden? Come playoff time, it's like, he's hooping too.
Wait, but you tell me every time that I should believe in James Harden.
You should, but like, you're never going to. You're still going to make these calculated jokes about him. That's what I'm saying is like, I'm sorry. Like, look, at the end of the day, in the playoffs, if you're giving me the choice between Donovan Mitchell, Julius Randle, and Jalen Brunson, these versions of all three, Donovan Mitchell is who I want, and that's why I would take the Cavs, or think the Cavs are going to win.
Okay. Let's just recall. It was 2022 in the month of May, and Jalen Brunson dominated Donovan Mitchell's Utah Jazz team. I believe we sat at a bar with lads watching that go down. So that's all I'm saying.